So at its core, our primary service is outsourced accounting services. And around that, we also install Accounting Suite and other applications. We modify Salesforce for clients, and mostly with the mind to building a solution that will end in effective accounting on the end. Accounts payable automation. And none of that exists in this environment at the time. And I have one client that has it's all relative, but they have a fairly high volume. For a relatively small client, they have maybe 4,000 payables coming through on a monthly basis. Most of them related to a program that they run. It's a nonprofit. They run a program. And so the accounting is really part of their operations. They process many, many transactions on behalf of the clients that they serve. And we were doing these either manually or we were uploading them through batch upload. So that was some relief we had gotten out of the process. But we began the first model we built was for a generic use, so something simpler to start with not too much detail, and that represented probably half of the transactions coming through. And there's a number of vendors. We so far have only converted 2 vendors. We have to convert a few more vendors. But that basic model was able to scan accounts payable invoices, use some internal validations within the Nanonets platform to validate that we have the right data, and it all adds up to subtotals and totals in the data. And then we do one lookup over in Salesforce, which is to make sure that that invoice doesn't already exist in Salesforce. The accounting system should reject it, but why push bad data over? So hence the picture behind me, the over-the-fence nature of this client is very high volume. We can't touch every invoice, so we want to validate as best we can. And then once we're sure we have the right data elements, then because Nanonets has an integration directly to Salesforce, they create the accounts payable records over in Salesforce and create the entries there. However, we're not done because there's more business logic to be applied. Our testing has been, we're doing this in a sandbox right now, that about 95% of the records are converting properly, no errors on the other side. And that's real time. So there's the only time it would take, once I set up the email forwarding rule and all this flows directly into Nanonets, is for the accountant to check once a day on the Salesforce side and to see if there are any exceptions, anything that needs to be fixed. And I would estimate with her workload that this might be, I don't think it'll be a half an hour a day. It might be 15 minutes a day, and I'd say that she's probably averaging 4 hours a day right now. So that's the kind of difference we're looking at. I absolutely would. I think that it's a flexible platform. It's a fairly energetic and enthusiastic company that really has it gives across the mindset that we want to help solve problems, and we're looking for challenges. Give us a challenge, rather than dreading it or trying to avoid it. They're in there learning, which is where you should be as a fairly young company. You certainly are there, and I appreciate that attitude and the extra effort that is put out.